You've seen the big names, but the real nightmares are the ones you missed. Buried deep in the dark, these 10 forgotten must-watch horror films don't just scare you, they haunt you. Watch them now before they disappear again. Number 10, The Midnight Meat Train.
Oh, damn!
When a photographer obsessed with capturing urban decay follows a mysterious butcher into the depths of the subway, he discovers a hidden world carved in blood and bone. The Midnight Meat Train, directed by Ryuhei Kitamura and based on Clive Barker's short story, slices open the underbelly of the city and revealing a subterranean horror feeding on the forgotten. As the train rolls deeper into the tunnels, sanity unravels, bodies pile high, and a sinister purpose behind the slaughter comes to light. Brutal, slick, and drenched in dread, it turns a late-night commute into a one-way trip to hell. Number 9, Vacancy. Stranded on a desolate road, a bickering couple checks into a rundown roadside motel, unaware that the hidden cameras in their room aren't for security but for slaughter. Directed by Nimrod Antal, this tight, relentless horror thriller traps you in a suffocating nightmare of voyeurism and violence, where escape routes vanish and help is just out of reach. As the couple fights to outwit their unseen tormentors, each creaking floorboard becomes a warning, and every shadow hides a new trap. The rooms are cold, the walls are thin, and someone is always watching and waiting. Number 8, The Collector. Desperate for cash, a man breaks into a house he believes is empty, only to walk into a nightmare already in progress. A masked sadist has transformed the home into a deadly maze of razor-sharp traps, cages, and blood-soaked surprises, turning every hallway into a corridor of death. Directed by Marcus Dunstan, this relentless game of predator and prey doesn't stop to breathe, and every escape attempt only tightens the noose. With tension coiled like wire around a trigger, survival is no longer about stealing. It's about escaping a place designed to make sure you never leave. Number 7, Daybreakers.
Blood substitute is not found immediately. This will happen to all of us. A substitute.
In a future where vampires have overtaken humanity, blood has become a dwindling resource and desperation breeds monsters on both sides. A cold, corporate-run society harvests the last remaining humans like livestock. But when a vampire scientist uncovers a possible cure, he's hunted by those who thrive in the darkness. Directed by Michael, this dystopian nightmare mixes sleek sci-fi with gruesome horror, painting a world where immortality is a curse and extinction wears a suit. The bloodlust isn't just primal, it's systematic, and hope is as fragile as a heartbeat. Number 6, Slither. When a meteorite crashes just outside a quiet town, it brings with it a parasitic infection that spreads through slugs, flesh, and fear. One man becomes the grotesque host, mutating into something inhuman as his infection turns neighbors into hive-minded monstrosities. Directed by James Gunn, this oozing blend of sci-fi and body horror infects every frame with dark humor and escalating dread. From twitching tendrils to writhing infestations, the grotesque visuals never let up, and neither do the screams. The longer you watch, the more you'll feel something crawling just beneath your skin. Number 5, The Crazies. In a sleepy Midwestern town, a military plane crashes and releases a toxic biological agent into the water supply and turning ordinary citizens into bloodthirsty maniacs. As neighbors turn on each other and the government enforces a deadly quarantine, a small group of survivors must escape both the infected and those sworn to contain them. Directed by Breck Eisner, this relentless remake of the 1973 cult classic delivers white-knuckle terror and chilling realism, where trust dissolves as fast as sanity. Every friendly face could be a ticking time bomb, and there's nowhere left to run. Number 4, May.
How is that? Beautiful.
May has always been different, awkward, lonely, and quietly unraveling behind thick glasses and stitched dolls. When her attempts at connection fail, her obsession with physical perfection festers into something deadly. leading her down a twisted path of love, loss, and homemade horror. Directed by Lucky McKee, this eerie character study bleeds with slow, surgical dread, turning emotional scars into literal wounds. What begins as heartbreak spirals into body horror, where loneliness becomes a scalpel and beauty is something to be assembled, piece by bloody piece. This isn't just a descent into madness, but it's a love story carved from flesh. Number 3, The Faculty. At a high school where cliques rule and rebellion simmers, something alien slips through the cracks and starts taking over the teachers. As students begin to vanish or change, a ragtag group of misfits uncovers the terrifying truth. Their faculty has been infected by a parasitic force bent on total control. Directed by Robert Rodriguez, this slick, spine-tingling sci-fi horror blends teen angst with invasion paranoia, where trust becomes lethal and even your best friend might not be human anymore. The rules of high school don't apply when your principal might bite. Packed with tension, body-snatching horror, and dripping with late 90s dread. Number 2, 30 Days of Night. In the isolated town of Barrow, Alaska, the sun sets for a full month, plunging its people into a darkness that calls to something ancient and ravenous. As the long night begins, a pack of vicious vampires descends with brutal precision, turning the frozen streets into a hunting ground slick with blood and silence. Directed by David Slade, this relentless survival horror traps you in a sunless hell where screams vanish into the snow and hope dies one bite at a time. The cold doesn't kill you, the things in it do. With gore-soaked chaos and eerie stillness, it's a bleak battle between man and monster under a sky that never lightens. Number 1, Stir of Echoes.
What are you doing?
I'm supposed to dig.
After being hypnotized at a party, a blue-collar father begins seeing terrifying visions of a missing girl and something buried deep beneath his own home. The line between reality and the supernatural blurs as he's consumed by the ghost's desperate need for justice, dragging his family into a haunting they can't escape. Directed by David Koepp, this chilling supernatural horror thriller fuses gritty realism with spectral dread, where every creak and flicker hides a message from the dead. It's not just about seeing ghosts, it's about understanding what they want. Here are 4 other movies you have to see. Audition. A widower holds fake auditions to find a new wife, only to fall for a soft-spoken woman with a chilling past. As their romance deepens, her mask slips to reveal trauma, madness, and a thirst for revenge. What begins as a slow-burn drama spirals into shocking, unforgettable horror. The Cell. A child therapist uses cutting-edge technology to enter the mind of a comatose serial killer in hopes of saving his latest victim. Inside, she discovers a surreal and terrifying dreamscape shaped by his twisted psyche. The deeper she ventures, the more reality blurs, and the monster waits. Ghost Ship. A salvage crew boards a long-lost ocean liner drifting in icy waters, only to find it haunted by the spirits of a brutal massacre. What starts as treasure hunting turns into a desperate fight for survival. The ship isn't just haunted, it's hungry. Valentine. Years after a cruel prank at a middle school dance, a group of friends is stalked by a masked killer leading up to Valentine's Day. Each murder is marked by blood, roses, and a trail of bitter secrets. Love hurts, and in this case, it kills.